Bonjour à toutes et à tous et bienvenue sur Blabla Katie. My name is Katie and today we're going to blabla about the one company I wish I knew about when I was moving to France. So in 2017, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I was leaving to go live in France long term for a program called Tapif. So back in this time period, I did not know about this one company that I'm going to be talking about in this video. But now in 2021, as I prepare to move back to France to be a lecteur d'anglais at a French university, I am so happy that I found this company. First things first, we all know that moving to France is stressful. So if you haven't seen any of my prior videos on moving to France, opening a bank account, finding an apartment, finding a cheap flight, definitely go check those out. They are full of information. There are just so many things to keep track of, and as a foreigner to France, and specifically as an American, because obviously that's the case that I know best, some of these processes, like opening a bank account, getting a phone plan, are not going to be simple, specifically because as a non-French citizen, you just don't have access to certain documents that they require. Again, check out my other videos if you want to know more in depth about what I'm talking about. So if you're stressed out about not having a phone plan when you get to France, not really knowing how to use public transportation when you get to France, landing in the airport and not wanting to take public transportation, or if you're stressed out about the age-old issue of finding an apartment in France, then you're likely going to want to know about this company as well. Without further ado, the company's name is Movido. Before I get into why this company is making my move to France less stressful and how it can make your move less stressful as well, I do just want to quickly say that we're in the process of setting up a sort of Q&A session that will be open to anybody who wants to attend, where I'll be talking about my experience moving from the US to France, both during Tapif and now currently as I move back as a lecteur d'anglais. So at this Q&A, you'll literally be able to ask whatever it is that you want, from questions like what is Tapif to how are you figuring out the visa process this year. I'm still waiting to hear back for a concrete day and time, but this is something that I will keep you updated on. So as soon as I get this information, I will put it in the description box, and I will likely also make a video on it on my TikTok once I have more information. So definitely follow me on there as well if you haven't already. Now back to Movido. So the way that I would describe Movido is pretty much like a relocation company created by people who have made the move before and who understand exactly what you're going through. They do market most of their content towards students moving to France and the UK, but there is a lot of information on here, and also what they offer is very relevant to people going to France for Tapif or to be a lecteur d'anglais, or if they're going to France for the first time. This company essentially makes the relocation process way less stressful. So if you go to the Movido website, you'll see up here that you have to say go-movido.com, and then you go over to About Us. It is literally created and run by people who have been in the same situation as you and me. Essentially, this team has felt the stress of trying to go to a new country. They have felt the stress of finding a new apartment. So if you look on this page in purple, they have the questions that you likely have already asked yourself. And if you go to their mission statement, it says, "This is why we've made it our mission to make your life as easy as possible when you move to a new city." So these people have an intimate understanding of what it is you are going through, but they also have the tools to be able to help you and to make it a less stressful process. So if you go back to home, you'll see the four main things that they offer, and I will talk about these a little more in depth in just a second. They can help you with getting a local SIM card, public transportation, local housing, and an airport pickup. So I do want to go into each of these a little more in depth, and if you click on Starter Pack, you'll see more information. We're looking at the France tab, but you can also look at the UK if that's where you're moving to or if that's where you're studying. So they can offer you a local SIM card. They'll mail you a SIM card ahead of time. It explains here what that comes with. You can activate it once you're in France, and it's valid for 30 days. This means after the 30 days, you will have to discard the SIM card. It can no longer be used. But within the 30 days, that should give you enough time to find an apartment, or if not, to find temporary housing like an Airbnb or crashing with a friend, which then should allow you to get a bank account, which then should allow you to get a long-term phone plan. Within that time period, you won't have to worry about having a French phone number or how you're going to communicate with other people. The second thing that they offer, they'll send you a public transportation card, and it will already come with 15 euros of credit. Since it is 16 euros and 90 cents, really you're only paying 1 euro and 90 cents because it already has the 15 euro credit. This is something that you can use over and over and over until the card itself expires. And while you can purchase this card once you get to France, once you're in the airport, this is a good option if you think that you're going to be overwhelmed, or if you just don't want to wait in line with all of the other people to buy the card and put money on it. Next, the personal airport pickup. So once you land in the airport, you can definitely find ways to get to where you need to go by public transportation. But again, if you think you're going to be stressed out, or if you don't want to lug around all of your suitcases or your backpacks or whatever it is, you can pay for this personal airport pickup. And I did clarify with one of the members of the Movido team that whoever's picking you up will come into the actual airport terminal and have a sign with your name on it, so you will know exactly who to go to. And finally, they offer housing search support. So if you are so overwhelmed with the housing process, you cannot find an apartment anywhere, or you don't know how to find an apartment, Movido says that they will give you 1 week's support to help you find the perfect flat, a dedicated advisor available to you, and that you should receive the first proposals within 24 hours. So that means that they will find things for you and then bring your attention to them. I also found out, again by clarifying with one of the team members of Movido, that they have an agreement with Garant Me, which is a website that I talked about in one of my prior videos. But if you need a garant, Movido should be able to help you in that camp as well. So these are the 4 different things that Movido offers, but what's so great about this company is that you can customize this. So if you only want to buy a SIM card and a public transportation card, then that is totally fine. If you want to buy all 4, that's great. If you want to buy just one, perfect. It really is personalized to what you need to make sure that you're having the least stressful amount of time as possible. Before I show you the process to actually buy one or several of these different offerings, I also want to let you know that if you use the link in my description box with the code Katie, then you can actually get 20% off all of the listed prices. If you're interested in buying one or any of these services, make sure to use the code Katie for a 20% discount. To actually buy something, you would want to click on Get Started for free. I think I'm already logged in, but at this point you would have to create an account if you don't have one yet. So personally, I'm definitely going to buy the SIM card. I want to make sure that I have a way to contact people as soon as I get into France. But since I don't have a bank account yet, that is going to be kind of impossible if I were to try to buy a phone plan once I get there. So I'm definitely going to do the SIM card. I feel comfortable enough with public transportation that I don't think it'll be an issue for me to get the card there. Same goes for the personal airport pickup. I think I'll be all right to do it myself. And for housing search support, I already have an apartment. As of right now, what makes sense for me is to get the local SIM card. So you'll go down, you'll put in the code Katie, I accept, and then continue. Now they're going to ask for your current home address because they're going to send it to me before I even leave. And then they will of course ask for your credit card information. Now, I do want to be completely transparent with you. I've not yet bought the SIM card or any of the other offerings that they provide, but as I continue this process with Movido, I will obviously keep you updated. I will show you when I get the SIM card, what that looks like. If I end up for some reason doing any of the other offerings, I will bring you along with me. In the meantime, I do want to show you some of the reviews that are already up on the website. If you go to home and scroll all the way down, you're going to see some slideshow reviews. There are also some more reviews if you go to starter pack and scroll all the way down. And there's another website with a handful more of reviews that I was provided, so I will put that link in the description box as well if you want to read those on your own. And the last thing that I want to say about this website, which I also think is an amazing tool, is if you go up here to blog, you'll see that there are some really helpful articles, especially for students in France, but also for people who are just on low income, young professionals, people like you and me most likely. For example, if you scroll down here, you can say, what's the cost of living in France for international students? And likely that information will apply to you as well. So as of now, that's everything that I wanted to talk about with Movido. Like I said, I will keep you updated on the whole process with buying the SIM card and anything else I decide to buy. And I think that's all for now. If you got any value out of this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. À la prochaine!